is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
Derek Norris and the Padres came alive last night offensively behind great pitching from Colin Ray. Tonight, the Pods will try to tame the big bats of the New York Mets, the reigning NL champs. Game 2 is next on Fox Sports San Diego. Colin Ray made a bid for the first no-hitter in San Diego Padres history last night, but still grabbed the victory even though it was broken up in the 7th inning. A special night last night from Petco Park. Tonight as the Padres host the Mets in Game 2 of a 4-game series. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Mark Sweeney. Welcome to Padres baseball. Well, a terrific pitching matchup last night. It worked out to be even better for Colin Ray, as it turned out. Another one tonight. Syndergaard matched up against Pomerantz, and Mark, I think we're going to see a few strikeouts here tonight.
Yeah, you think about turning up the dial for Noah Syndergaard. That's exactly what you're getting. It's velocity when it comes to Noah Syndergaard. This guy is very proud of his fastball, and you see the swing and miss for Noah Syndergaard, and the names underneath that, very important to note. It's fastball, slider, and changeup for Noah Syndergaard, but you also see, when it comes to it, Drew Pomerantz. Drew Pomerantz has a different way of attacking that, and it's the fastball curveball combination. In LA, the last start out, he was spectacular. Unfortunately, he went against Clayton Kershaw, who was also good, but the curveball from Drew Pomerantz has been really dominating, and you can see the swing and miss out of him.
Well, Colin Ray was special last night in Game 1 of the series, looking for more of the same from Drew Pomerantz. And last night, for Colin Ray, it was not just his pitching, but also the defense behind him was spectacular. We'll talk about the defense and the shifts that went on last night. Julie Alexandria will delve into it when we come back to Petco Park right after this.
Back to Petco, everyone. Well, last night you see Brett Wallace putting on the shift as the Padres put on the shift on the Mets, as well as Alexei Ramirez. Just waiting for it. There he goes. Well, no other team has had the shift employed on them more than the New York Mets. And coaches Glenn Hoffman and Eddie Rodriguez went in depth to explain what exactly goes into putting on the shift. Take a listen.
A lot of work goes behind the scenes into that. You and I spoke this morning about it. From watching videos to having spray charts that indicate hitters' tendencies, and then you have to put in the pitching and how that's going to work on that given night, and obviously the personnel we have out there.
It's a learning process, and just like us as coaches with Andy's philosophy, and he's done a tremendous job with his charts and relaying the information, what he wants, and then putting it all together. It's teamwork.
First page coach Tarek Brock, who also works with the outfielders, credited the great communication between his three outfielders as far as putting on a successful shift. Now tonight, coming up, we've got the Padres taking on the Mets in Game 2 of the 4-game set. It's Thor versus Uncle Charlie. It's throwback night. It's Friday. Here from Petco.
There he is.
Has been the story here tonight for the Padres. Myers takes DeGrom out of the yard. Jay going back. Will make the catch. Spectacular catch by John Jay. Derek Norris sends it deep far, and very gone. Back at Petco Park as the Padres get ready to take the field here, led by their starting pitcher, Drew Pomerantz. And the throwback brown jerseys on this Friday night, Game 2 of the series, as the Padres take on the reigning National League champion New York Mets. Let's check out the visiting Mets lineup, brought to you by Hyundai. Curtis Granderson leading it off and in right field, with Juan Lagares in center field batting second. David Wright at third base in the 3 spot, with Yoenis Cespedes in left field. Lucas Duda at first base, with Asdrubal Cabrera at shortstop. Wilmer Flores, who came off the bench last night, in the starting lineup tonight for New York. And at second base, former Padre Rene Rivera does the catching tonight for Terry Collins. And Noah Syndergaard, his pitcher, bats in the 9 spot.
Now time for the scouting report of Drew Pomerantz, a 27-year-old left-hander, making his 6th start on the season, 2nd here at home, and elevating that fastball, and also throwing on that same plane that curveball, which we said all swing and miss, and maintain that confidence coming off a really good start in Los Angeles. 7 innings, unfortunately, he went after Clayton Kershaw, 1-0 final, going the Dodgers' way.
Let's check out the defense behind him. The Padres defense brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Melvin Upton Jr. in left with John Jay in center. Matt Kemp around in right. Third to first, it's Brett Wallace, Alexei Ramirez, Jemile Weeks, and Will Myers, with Derek Norris doing the catching for Drew Pomerantz. Well, some questionable weather in the area tonight. So unusual, but there is a chance for a shower here tonight, and perhaps some precipitation. Had a lot of it this morning, and kind of ominous clouds off to the left as this game starts tonight at Petco Park.
Yeah, usually don't see those cloud cover coming into Petco Park, so play quickly.
Here is Curtis Granderson to lead it off. Homered last night, now has 5 home runs on the year. Not your typical leadoff hitter. He's got some pop as he takes ball 1, and we are underway. Cool night here tonight at Petco Park, and the fans bundled up. A little chilly, a little windy, and cloudy above, a damp feel in the air. As Granderson checks his swing, some of those ominous clouds off in the distance. 63 degrees as we get it started. Mostly cloudy, the forecast.
Hats are on. You're feeling very comfortable in the stands. Stay warm.
Talk about the pop of Granderson. There's a guy that hit better than 40 home runs in back-to-back seasons. 41 with the Yankees in 2011, 43 in 2012. And of course, you got that short porch in right field at Yankee Stadium when he was a Yankee, but nothing short about this one last night as he led off the 9th inning with his home run.
Yeah, broke up the shutout bid of Colin Ray, who pitched very well last night.
Granderson headed down to first base with the walk to get it started. Yeah, last night a special night here at the ballpark. And here's the umpiring crew. Jerry Lane, the crew chief, in behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. Hunter Winolstead at first base. Scott Berry at second, and Trip Gibson is the umpire at third. So lead runner on here for the Mets in the top of the first inning. Brings up Juan Lagares, who had last night off. Back in the lineup tonight for the Mets and in center field. On the 300 mark at 297 to start the game tonight.
Well, he went through the arm problems last year with the throwing issues. Juan Lagares, very good center fielder, but also offensively off to a good start, as you talked about, Don. And speaking to the Mets officials, he said that he lost some weight in the offseason. He's moving around the outfield much better, and obviously offensively feels good as well.
Fouls it off down the right field line, evens the count at 1-1. Made a start in right field earlier this week. First time he's had that happen since 2013, and saw David Wright waiting on deck. Lagares, a big part of the postseason for the Mets last year. Scored 7 runs in 13 postseason games. Hit .348 in the postseason last year for New York. The World Series, 3 for 10. Stolen base, scored 2 runs. Swings and grounds one foul. Another Richard Myers.
Such a talented player, but going through those injury problems, especially the elbow, offensively wasn't in sync. They had to be careful with him so they would take their chances. And Terry Collins knows that they're a better club, both defensively and offensively, with a healthy Juan Lagares.
Last night we saw Cespedes in center field, Lagares in center field tonight. You got a lot of speed in that outfield, and pretty good defensive outfield. You got Granderson in right, Cespedes in left, and Lagares in center.
Well, it's Citi Field, a big outfield, much like Petco Park here. And it's interesting, both of those fields have had renovations from the first blueprint of those stadiums to now.
Popped up, shallow right, back goes Weeks onto the outfield grass to make the catch. Jay was on his way in, but it's Jemile Weeks who ducks back and reels it in for the first out. Well, David Wright, the face of the franchise for a number of years. And where does he rank in the franchise as far as games, runs, hits, home runs, RBIs, and batting average? either at the top or near the top, first or second in all those categories. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, gold standard of the New York Mets and a really good face of the franchise. My estimation, you talk to David Wright, has a lot of confidence, but they need him healthy moving forward. Has a lot of back issues.
Only guys behind in home runs, Darryl Strawberry on that list.
I loved watching him swing the bat.
Wright will take the strike over the outside corner. Last 11 games, he's hit at 220. First 10, he had hit at 308. Has had a number of strikeouts lately, which is trying to cut down on that.
Oh, nice block by Derek. There's David Wright, and you can see the games missed. Last year, 116 games. Offensively, they struggled. Obviously, they leaned on their pitching staff and their young pitchers. But they need a healthy David Wright for that presence, not only on the field, but off the field in the locker room.
It was interesting listening to some of his comments last night to some of the younger guys, especially for a guy like him who had been through so many lean years with the Mets. Don't expect this to happen every year like you did last year. You're going to have to work really hard this year to make sure you get there again.
Yeah, and that's the message you really want to send, and it's coming from your captain. He already has instant credibility as those young pitchers. You see Steven Matz to the right, Jacob deGrom. That message needs to be sent and needs to be talked about because it just doesn't happen. And they went on a fabulous run last year, losing to the Kansas City Royals.
All right, batting here with Granderson at first base, 1 out. On the outside corner, picks it up. Full count now. Pomeranz battling back.
Nice backdoor cutter on the outside edge. You could see the movement on that pitch, on that outside part.
27-year-old making his 6th start of the year tonight. Pomeranz. 7 innings last time out. This one sprayed foul off to the right, out of play. And as you mentioned earlier, Mark, he was matched up against Clayton Kershaw on what I think was the most impressive opponent that we have seen yet so far in the young season against the Padres pitching-wise.
Yeah, and you see it, and you have to match the zeros when it comes to that. You know what you're getting when Clayton Kershaw's on the mound, and they lost the first 2 games of the series to the Padres. Drew Pomeranz was every bit as good.
Anderson goes, and a foul off to the right off the bat of Steven Wright.
We saw the cutter, and we also saw the fastball there. Back-to-back 93-mile-an-hour fastballs up in the strike zone.
This is what he's matched up against so far this season. It's not been easy. He finds himself up against some aces.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the big leagues. And unfortunately, Vince Velasquez, that was a 16 strikeout game in Philadelphia.
Payoff pitch to David Wright is in there for strike 3. Wright knew it. Takes with him the first K for Pomeranz. 2 down.
So many different looks, and you can see that curveball in the shape of that breaking ball. It's not just a swing and miss. It's a really nice curveball.
So 2 down, and Granderson at first base. Cespedes coming up. Tons of power. Saw his 9th home run of the year last night. 27 RBIs. And just a tick under 300 at 299. He signed as a free agent with the Mets during the offseason. I really feel like it was a big re-signing for the Mets.
Yeah, and it's the presence in the batter's box. And last night with his 9th home run off Brad Hand, you got to be very careful and cautious, and it goes in that mind of the pitcher. You have to be very cautious of where you're locating those pitches, and when they get in there in that position, they'll not only look for that fastball, but they'll sit on a breaking ball in big situations as well.
Andy Green very happy with his team last night, certainly from a pitching, offense, defensive standpoint. Everything worked last night. Couldn't have gone any better as breaking ball in there for a strike. John Jay with a spectacular catch last night, kind of set the tone for the defense in last night's game.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, I thought that was the point in the big motivational point for Colin Ray. He could attack the strike zone because of the defense behind him.
talked about all the shifts last night. I can't remember another game where the shifts worked out as well or as consistently grounded into as they were last night.
Oh, we heard Julie's report, and Eddie Rodriguez to the right and Glenn Hoffman to the left. Constantly working on those shifts. Also Tarek Brock, the outfield instructor, do a fabulous job preparing this group.
Cespedes will take a hack and finds himself down now, 1-2.
You know, Don, we'll see that fastball at the top of the strike zone. You see as late life, and also cutting action as well, boring in on the right-handers. But off of that high fastball, you can go to that breaking ball down out of the strike zone. See if he goes here.
Cespedes will take a hack, another fastball. Granderson walked. Lagares popped out a second. David Wright struck out looking, and Yoenis Cespedes in a battle right now, down 1-2. With Lucas Duda waiting on deck. Cespedes breaking into the big leagues initially with the Oakland A's. Two and two. Pomeranz coming over from the Oakland A's along with Jose Torres. Player to be named later worked out to be Jabari Blash in the Yonder Alonso, Mark Sepchinski deal.
Early returns on that deal.
Total of 53 games for him for the Oakland A's last year. This one dribbled foul. 9 total starts. Pomeranz last year 5-6 with a 3.66 earned run average.
Yeah, last year pitching out of the bullpen in Oakland is where he flourished. This year you can see the confidence. We touched on our scouting report for Drew Pomeranz. He looks like a different pitcher, and I think it has a lot to do with that curveball success.
One of a handful of guys really named right out of the gate in spring training as possible starters in the back end of the rotation. He won the job after a very good spring, and he strikes out Cespedes. Back-to-back Ks, Wright and Cespedes. Padres coming up. Padres baseball brought to you by Jerome's Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. By Petco, your complete pet store. And by Pinnacle on the Park. Make your new home address here. Visit pinnacleonthepark.com for details. Now the Padres welcoming the New York Mets in Game 2 of a 4-game series. Mets are retired, and the Padres are coming up in the bottom of the first. Let's check out the Padres lineup brought to you by Toyota. John Jay at the top of that lineup with Will Myers batting second and first base, Matt Kemp in right, Brett Wallace back at third base with Melvin Upton Jr. in left. Alexei Ramirez is the shortstop with Derek Norris doing the catching. Jamal Weeks at second base, and Drew Pomeranz, the pitcher, that's out of the 9 spot.
Here's our scouting report of Noah Syndergaard, the 6'6", 242-pound right-hander brought to you by Scripps, and velocity is off the charts, up to 101 miles an hour. And disrupt him with the running game. He has been struggling out of the stretch.
Well, his first pitch at 97 miles an hour to get it started to Jon Jay. 261, no homers, 9 runs batted in for the Padres center fielder. And Tardy on that cut, back-to-back 97.
Yeah, Steve Finley on our pregame show talked about hitting that fastball, and you have to simplify it. Get it started and let him supply the power. Just try to get it out there and shorten your swing as much as you can.
Sprays it foul. Jay, Myers, and Kemp. Is Syndergaard here in the first inning. Myers waiting on deck. Padres were able to score early last night's game against Jacob deGrom and kind of set the tone offensively as well. Here's a liner down the left field line. It is a fair ball. Over to play it is Cespedes. Heading to second base and getting there standing is Jon Jay, and a good start for the Padres again tonight.
We see the fastball 99 miles an hour. He dialed it up this one. You see him staying inside the baseball and down the line and using the tarp. See the tarp wedging right into that corner for an easy double. That tarp's not there. I think Cespedes playing over on the left field line keeps him to a single.
Cespedes has a tremendous arm, as we know. So Jay in scoring position to start this bottom of the first inning. And here's Wil Myers. Well, at 302, 6 homers, 16 runs batted in. Wil Myers with a home run here last night, his 6th home run of the year. Hit it off Jacob deGrom.
Well, Don, we've seen Wil Myers use the big part of the field in his home runs predominantly. He's had a couple on the pull side. Especially here, he knows he can hit it out of any part of the ballpark.
On the ground up the middle, ranging is Cabrera. He'll go to first for the out on Myers as Jay takes third base. Let's check out the Mets defensively from left to right across the outfield. Yoenis Cespedes, Juan Lagares, Curtis Granderson. Third to first, David Wright as Drupal Cabrera, Wilmer Flores, and Lucas Duda, with Rene Rivera doing the catching for Noah Syndergaard.
Interesting how Terry Collins plays this situation defensively early in the ball game, trying to keep runs at a premium. Tonight with Drew Pomeranz's success, see the infield not totally in, but opportunity to try to cut that run down at home plate.
Matt Kemp here with a chance to put the Padres on top in the first inning. We will take a look at strike one. How's 99 for you again? Infield at the lip of the grass on the right side, about halfway on the left side.
You see 99 miles an hour, excuse me, Don, but the velocity when it comes down to it. But you also have the slider and the changeup you have to worry about as well. 92, 93 miles an hour on the slider that we'll touch on later in the broadcast.
Was lunging after that, so there you go. You're all worried about the fastball and you don't get it. It's tough.
Get up to the upper 90s, even triple digits, you're going to cheat a little bit. Almost have to at times. Just adds to that swing and miss on the off speed.
Fly ball, center field, playable for Lagares. We'll see if Jay's going to try it. Lagares, all his momentum coming forward. Here comes Jay. Throw is off the mark, and the Padres take a 1-0 lead. Sac fly for Matt Kemp, and San Diego strikes first.
You got to credit Matt Kemp for really doing a nice job. But watch the catch. Juan Lagares tries to get behind it, but he doesn't grip this baseball, and also has to double crow hop, which You see the arm strength's there, but the accuracy is not because he doesn't get a grip on it. But credit Matt Kemp for a nice at bat, putting in play.
Well, the Guards looked like he had it all set up the way he wanted to, coming forward, all the momentum coming with him and towards the plate, but Shaw didn't have a good grip and took an extra step. Broken bat grounder into the shift right side. Flores eludes the bat and fires to first to retire Wallace. But the Padres strike first, take a 1-0 lead.
What he did tonight overshadows anything you could have done offensively tonight. He threw the ball great. He deserved to go the full outing, and unfortunately, he just got a little bit behind to a guy that's swinging the bat pretty good right now in Granderson. And I think it was just, as soon as someone gets on, he was coming out. But he did a tremendous job, and I'm happy for him. I'm proud for him too.
Oh, that was last night. Derek Norris giving all of the credit to Colin Ray, by far his best outing of the season. Andy Green said 8 innings and only giving up 1 run. He said that is a tremendous outing. And by the way, it should be noted, Derek Norris last night offensively, he went 3 for 3 with a walk, nearly missing a cycle by a triple. So good to see that from Derek Norris.
Yeah, I had to be happy for Derek Norris because he has hit the ball hard a lot of times and has not had much to show for it at times. And not only what he does for the pitching staff behind the dish, and he finally last night had a few hits and certainly has to feel good about that because he's played very well this season.
Well, Don, you think about it too offensively when you go through the struggles. Priority number 1.
Into the shift again, and Weeks will be able to throw out Lucas Duda for the first out of the inning.
Priority number 1 is the defense for Derek Norris, and he has done a tremendous job even with the struggles offensively. Andy Green credits that. Continually work on your craft and do what you're supposed to do, and Derek Norris knows his responsibility.
Kind of like an extension of the coaching staff at catcher's position. Certainly you're like another pitching coach in so many ways, working with the staff as a whole.
Yeah, and you have to execute the scouting reports and tailored all the way to the shifts, and you can see that benefit working early in this game.
Well, the veteran Asdrubal Cabrera fouls it off. Spent last year as a member of the Tampa Bay Rays, now in a Mets uniform. Off to a pretty good start, .295 average for him. 2 homers, 9 runs batted in, playing on a daily basis. Homer Flores moving from short to second at times, and Flores in the lineup tonight at second base. And in fact, waiting on deck for the Mets.
See the shortstop Ramirez pulled way over on that pull side. That's not necessarily the shifts that you're going to have 3 infielders on each side. But that shortstop really indicates what kind of defense you're playing up the middle.
Fouled off to the right, out of play. Hot shot back into the seats. Cabrera hitting safely in 15 of his last 20 games. Been pretty good defensively too. A .990 fielding percentage, 1 error, and 104 total chances. And grounder foul. Veteran who spent 5 seasons with the Cleveland Indians, breaking into the big leagues with the Indians. Left side, Ramirez will charge in a step or two. Throw in time to get Cabrera for the second out.
We take a look at the curveball and the grip of Drew Pomeranz and the ability to spin the baseball. See that spiked grip, but also throwing it all different directions. And if you think about it, Don, which is interesting, when you see that fastball, the grip is the spike on the seam right there, and you'd see a spike curveball thrown this direction. He actually throws it as a fastball.
Fly ball, short left. Upton makes his way in. And he'll put it away for out number 3. That's 6 in a row retired by Pomeranz. Inning and a half done. 1-0 Padres. The Mets as we get ready for the bottom of the second inning. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, the keys to the game, and you could see against Noah Syndergaard, there's been some teams that have disrupted him with the running game. So when you get on first, even second base, you have the ability to steal bases off him. Very slow to the plate, and also pitch to the shift. Drew Pomeranz has done a really nice job to that point, and the Padres have led the league in shifting, and that really indicates how successful they've been.
Melvin Upton chasing that pitch down and away. Upton 245 to start the night. 2 homers, 11 runs batted in. Playing in his 30th game of a possible 30 on the year. Chops it foul outside of third.
I heard Mark Grant talk about it last night, and that's the key when you're thinking about shifting. You have to be able to locate your pitches. We've seen the Padre pitching of late really locate all of their pitches, into both off speed and also the fastballs, and that's really going to help you defensively.
Going to hit your spots to align with the defense. So important now as much as teams are shifting. Where does he rank? Pretty impressive across the board. Fastball, slider, curveball, and changeup. You think about all of it while worrying about a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Good luck.
It really should be your only worry and your only thought all night if you're a Padre hitter. Get ready to hit the heater.
Sounds simplistic, but you just got to get ready earlier, right?
Yeah, and it's intimidating because it's always in your mind, and you're going to see some awkward swings from the Padre hitters. They got to constantly lock it in to that fastball and get ready to hit the fastball, as you see the former Padre Rene Rivera.
In the air to right field, down the line towards the corner. Granderson on the move. It'll be a foul ball. Out of his reach and just foul down that right field line. And just slicing down the line. That'll be followed by Ramirez and Norris. 5, 6, and 7 for the Padres here in the second inning. In the air to right, playable for Granderson. And he'll put it away for out number 1 at the bottom of the second inning.
Time now for the tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks. And for Noah Syndergaard, we've talked about the fastball and the location. You can see 95 miles an hour. He's got a lot more in the tank. But working in the bottoms of the strike zone against Angel Pagan of the Giants. 3 fastballs, and then he goes to the slider. That's the reason why he rack up the strikeouts. And that slider's at 91, 92 miles an hour. Pretty impressive.
See what you're saying, though. It does kind of act like a cutter. I mean, the slide is not that dramatic.
Well, there it is. Average slider velocity, 92 miles an hour. On average, 84, and that is such a huge difference. It does act as a cutter, but it has depth to it, and that's why you get a lot of swings and miss.
Alexei Ramirez batting with 1 out, bases empty. And a liner into left field for a base hit. That was a fastball. He jumped right on it. Single for Ramirez. Second hit of the night for San Diego.
Now the veteran shortstop, you can see he knows how to construct an at-bat. Very simple approach, getting ready for the fastball and the short, compact swing. That is
nice. So Ramirez at first, 1 out, and it brings up Derek Norris, who had a good night last night. Norris 3 for 3 in the game last night, double and a home run. Scored a couple of runs. For Norris last night, able to get his 2nd home run of the year. That's with 1 out. Alexei Ramirez at first base. They will check on Ramirez, who has to dive back to the bag.
Well, the last 2 starts for Noah Syndergaard, the Reds and the Giants, they took advantage of that slow move. That's the reason why you're going to see a lot of pickovers tonight. And it doesn't matter if you're a base stealer or not. He is slow to the plate because of his delivery from the stretch. We talked to some of the Mets officials that said it's been getting into his head. Remember, only 23 years old is Noah Syndergaard. So there's certain things that you have to do at the big league level. Even if you have that plus velocity, the good slider, you're going to have to be able to hold runners. And you see from the Noah Syndergaard letting up all of those stolen bases, those are going to get in your head.
Actually, he's a big boy, 6'6", 242 pounds, as he checks on Ramirez at first base. Made 2 career starts against the Padres, 1-1, but a 5.25 ERA against San Diego. Well, the Czech has been very concerned with Alexei at first base.
Well, Don, you see the attention even to Alexei Ramirez, who's not a base stealer, but that thought in his mind, if you're a base runner for the Padres, get in his head, look like you're trying to steal a base, even if you're not going to. See Ramirez getting off the base. It's the mannerisms over there at first can disrupt him.
Doesn't generally walk many. In fact, you look at his 2 career starts against the Padres. 19 strikeouts, 0 walks in 2 previous games against San Diego. There goes Ramirez at first base, swinging a miss for Norris, and Ramirez would be out. Looked like a hit and run, ends up being a strike him out, throw him out double play that concludes the second inning. Padres at the end of 2 have a 1-0 lead.
It's a great city, great place to play. I mean, I get a lot of thanks to San Diego to give me an opportunity to establish myself in the big leagues, and I'll never forget this moment here, and the team and the friendship I built here, and the great city of San Diego.
That's former Padre Rene Rivera, who played here in San Diego 2013 and 2014. Mets manager Terry Collins choosing to start him behind the dish tonight because exactly what you guys just saw. It's all about his arm. Terry Collins wanting him to help Syndergaard with the run game, and as you just saw, throwing out Alexei Ramirez at second.
Now Rene Rivera in 2 seasons with the Padres, .252 average, 11 homers, 51 RBIs, 2013, 2014, and all accounts an outstanding guy.
Yeah, you could say career years for Rene Rivera, and very appreciative, as you heard, and very humble guy, and he made a huge difference on this pitching staff. Very good Padre career for those couple of years. But you can see Terry Collins, and to Julie's point, in 2015 threw out 23 of 63 potential base stealers. That's the reason why you got to try to solve that problem of Noah Syndergaard.
Spent last year with the Tampa Bay Rays, playing in 110 games. Had a career high 87 starts. Caught a career high 784 and 2/3 innings last year with Tampa Bay. Signed by the Mets as a free agent April the 5th. And initially assigned to AAA Las Vegas of the PCL. Was added to the roster the 26th of April after starting the year at AAA. And did he go? They'll check. No, he did not, says Hunter Wintelstead. So a leadoff walk, second time in 3 innings. The Pomeranz had that happen. Well, tonight's game is presented by Sony, the leader of 4K Ultra HD. 2 walks allowed by Pomeranz. It's kind of a tough way to start each inning. Started the first that way, but Granderson didn't advance. And on to retire the next 6 Mets in a row before this most recent walk to Rene Rivera. Now here is Noah Syndergaard, who is 0 for 6 at the plate so far and already squaring. A charge from the corners as he takes ball 1.
Yeah, being down, easy sacrifice situation. You see Noah Syndergaard, the right-handed pitcher, left-handed hitter. And when usually you're like that, you got to protect that right arm. That's the reason why you see that guard, the elbow guard up there. just in case.
So swings away, pulled it back, and it evens at 1-1.
Yeah, the aggressive Butcher Boy.
Charging from the corners, and they ended up pretty close last time. You got to be aware that that may happen.
You got to watch your chicklets.
A face full of baseball is.
That's not a comfortable feeling when you're at first base or third base. Charging again.
Yep. Wow. He did it again.
Yeah, Will Myers scratching his head on the way back to first, but that drew the swing. Not a comfortable feeling, but the result the Padres will take.
It's a good thing there was no contact. 1-2. And with 2 strikes squaring. And he offered at it for strike 3.
Follow Padres baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
One down here in the 3rd inning. Rivera at first base. Held on over there by Myers. Back up to the top of the order. Second time through now for Pomerantz against the Mets. Granderson reached on a base on balls first time up. Drew Pomerantz, former first-round draft choice, 5th overall by the Cleveland Indians in 2010. He was drafted out of the University of Mississippi. Didn't miss by a lot as he falls behind here, 2-1.
You've seen different velocities on that curveball as well. Different shapes. Touched on it last inning with the grip of his curveball. Has a lot of confidence in that pitch.
This is only his 2nd career start against the Mets and the first time he's faced New York since 2012. And 4 innings in that effort. Coors Field, a member of the Rockies at the time. 3-1 pitch. On the ground, foul, full count.
Now we saw Will Myers earlier at that first base look and not holding on Rene Rivera. He is not a base stealer, but as a first baseman, you want to get as much defensive range as you can, especially with the left-hander. See Jamal Weeks pulled over in that hole right there, and then you also have Brett Wallace over on that right side with 2 strikes.
Just have to respect the power of Granderson. Kemp backed up in right. Plays him about straight up in right field. Payoff pitch. And a fly ball the other way to left field. Upton going back, still going, and he'll get there. On the base of the track, turns and fires back into the infield. Good running catch by Melvin Upton Jr. out there in left field. We talked about it before, Mark Sweeney, the difference between center field and left field, and he has made it look seamless.
Yeah, and you see the defensive ability, and there are 2 center fielders playing the outfield. You see John Jay shifted over on that right side. He gets there late, but Melvin Upton Jr. with the good first step in the play into the gap.
So 2 down, Rivera at first, and Juan Lagares coming up. An open stance from the right side for the Mets center fielder.
You see that gap. You have to protect that right there. Tarek Brock, and you see John Jay almost straight center. Draw that line right up second base. He's on the right side of that. Well, Don, the reason why you can do that is you have Melvin Upton Jr.'s range. You see it. Made some nice catches. Tarek Brock to the left, Andy Green. discussing that all the time. But when you have a center fielder that can cover that much area, I think Jon Jay shifts over and tries to protect Matt Kemp defensively a little bit.
And Tarek Brock doing a great job with the outfielders during spring training. He talked about all the different outfielders you get a chance to work with. Then you get into the regular season, you start working with them even closer and setting up that defense, and he's done a great job.
Constant communication, and that filters right down to Jon Jay. And in between pitches, you'll actually see Jon Jay voicing it to both corners where he's going to go.
Send it down to Julie.
Well, to add to your point, guys, this is a big ballpark, and nobody knows that better than Tarek Brock, who was telling me that having Melvin Upton in left field just allows so much creativity, given the shifts and just given his talents in left. He said a lot of creative shifts have been put on this year, and 1 month in, he feels that the guys have really settled in out there, especially the nonverbal communication. He said that has just gelled over so well.
And as you mentioned also, Jon Jay's really kind of being the captain out there in center field.
And you need that. He's the quarterback of the center fielders and takes on what Tarek Brock says. Matt Kemp has done a really nice job in right field, commanding his area.
Lagares chops it off the plate. Pomerantz off the mound will spin and fire a seed to first base. Nice play by Pomerantz. Didn't panic and gets it there. Works his way around a leadoff walk. It's 1-0 San Diego. We get ready for the bottom of the third inning. Well, our friends from NAMI were brought to the game tonight on the Fan Express, courtesy of Kaiser Permanente. NAMI is San Diego's voice on mental illness. For more information, log on to foxsportssandiego.com. Last half of the third inning, Noah Syndergaard giving up a run in the first inning. So far on 2 hits as a strikeout, hasn't walked anybody. He will deal with 8-9-1 for the Padres here in the third inning. Weeks, Pomerantz, and Jay will be featured. Well, the job that Jamal Weeks has done replacing Corey Spangenberg, who's been on the DL, had a chance to settle into that second base position every day, but very well defensively.
He's looked very well defensively and handled the shifts, and also that short right field placement can be uncomfortable for those second basemen.
Kind of out of position, longer throw, no doubt.
And it makes it very difficult. You're taking ground balls from short right, having to be accurate. You see Corey Spangenberg. He's taken batting practice the last few days.
You get a feel for how close he may be to returning, or at least to rehab.
You know, it's one of those things when you feel good, comfortably running, you have to give it a couple extra days. And I think they're just trying to get through that process where they can get him to rehab and slowly get his leg strength under him, especially with Solarte as well. Leg injuries are very difficult.
especially when you play the speed game. And he does, as Weeks here waits on a 1-2 and lifts it in the air to center field. Lagares going back. That'll take him on to the dirt of the track. Had to go a long way back. Played a relatively shallow center field on Weeks, and Weeks showing some pop, but flies out to the warning track in center for out number 1.
Well, nice swing by Jemile Weeks. See the fastball, and that was a mistake by Syndergaard over the middle of the plate. This had a good sound to it. And the talent of Juan Lagares, as you said, Don, playing a shallow center field and getting back there easily.
Wonder how better that may have traveled in the daytime here at Petco Park. Comes up short here at night, though. 1 out in the 3rd. Drew Pomeranz, the pitcher, batting. He's gone 2 for 10 at the plate so far. Not a bad hitter at the plate. Career .205 average as a home run. He's been up there 97, 98, 99. It's impressive.
Yeah, he's so proud of his fastball. You'll see some of these guys, they'll know where that radar gun is too, and they'll take a little peek to indicate what type of stuff he has.
Swing and a miss, wouldn't you be?
Never thrown a ball that hard.
Well, Giancarlo Stanton hits some majestic home runs, but tonight's 475-foot blast against the Philadelphia Phillies, that is over that thing in center field.
That's a grown man. See him getting a high five of Barry Bonds, the hitting coach. What a great mesh, but watching Giancarlo Stanton hitting the baseball, it's a lot of fun.
There's John Jay with 2 down here in the 3rd inning.
They say he hits it out of the game. It's unbelievable. Best power hitter in the game. If he stays healthy, I think he hits 50. Who's your favorite hitter to watch?
Well, there are many, but I enjoy watching over the years.
Power hitter?
Well, I had the chance to see David Ortiz for a number of years in Boston, and he was tremendous. Mark McGwire, obviously, during his time, you had a chance to see it up close and personal, but seeing David Ortiz every day, pretty impressive. Moving into right field. John Jay has got himself a 2-out single, 3rd hit of the night for the Padres, the 2nd for John Jay.
Well, you got to love the Padres' approach. They have been grinding out at bats tonight against Noah Syndergaard. And 2-strike hitting last night came into play. This is also 2 strikes for John Jay, pulling his hands inside on that heater.
I have to say another guy that I enjoyed watching on a daily basis was Manny Ramirez, also from the right side.
One of the best right-handers ever we've seen. But you look at David Ortiz, the clutch hitting in big situations has to come into play as well.
That's what certainly brought it to another level. And Will Myers batting with 2 down, runner at first base. How about you? What was the best you saw?
You know, and McGwire and Sosa, when they put on that show in '98, I think it changed the game. I really do. And obviously everyone was watching what Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa were going to do on a daily basis. Looking at the papers, seeing what they did every day. I just loved watching Big Mac take a swat at it. I think the best hitter all around is Barry Bonds, giving a high five with Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
Could do it all.
Of course, you saw from a hit perspective and hitter Tony Gwynn.
The best ever. And it's easy to say because when they bring in those specialty lefties, it was almost laughable. He'd shoot it in the gap all the time with ease. But he knew what he wanted to do with the baseball, and his constant work ethic is what stuck out to me. And I just thought the world of just watch him perform at his craft. Easily the best hitter I've ever seen.
Well, Myers batting with 2 down, Jay at first. I think a guy that is underrated in his prime, and I know he's not now, and he's getting close to 3,000 in the big leagues here after already doing it in Japan, is Ichiro. He was fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Think about how many hits he had over in Japan, coming over here and almost getting 3,000 hits. Sure thing, Hall of Famer for me.
His bat control, while looking like he had happy feet running out of the box. In the air to right field, towards the corner goes Granderson at the wall. He'll make the catch. Well, that wall bends in. Granderson had an extra foot or two. Needed all of it. It's 1-0 San Diego.
Your favorite memory between you and David Wright?
Me and David, David actually used to pick me up before school, and we had the keys to the batting cage, and we go, he picked me up in his old Chevy S10 stick shift with no heat, and yeah, we'd throw to each other and go to school.
That's Melvin Upton Jr. reminiscing on his longtime friendship with fellow Major Leaguer and Mets captain David Wright. They grew up in Norfolk, Virginia together. They were little leaguers together. And as he said, he would drive him over to the batting cages. He says of David, he was like another big brother to me.
It's amazing. Long friendship. Well before Major League Baseball was in either of their sites.
Yeah, and the hotbed and the work ethic. It really shows you. And you know what? They heated up a lot in the batting cages. I'm sure he didn't probably need any heat on the way back.
It was a pretty good Little League team they had. It was a great picture they had.
Steve Finley along with us as we move along here to the 4th inning. It's Norfolk, Virginia, the longtime AAA home of the New York Mets and the Norfolk Tides. Tidewater Tides before that.
Oh, you spent a lot of time there too, in that Mets organization.
Stops, yeah. One of my favorite stops was
the
Norfolk.
sleeper city, wasn't it?
It was. Right on the water, you know, the spirit of Norfolk right beyond the fence there in right field. And usually put it together with the Richmond trips. You had two pretty good teams. You had the Mets AAA, and then you play the Braves AAA on the same trip.
Yeah, you think about these minor league facilities now, and they've totally changed. Some of the facilities, you go in those locker rooms, and you come up to the big leagues. It's a downgrade.
Yeah, it is.
It's unbelievable.
Well,
some of the guys.
You and I went to El Paso. That was tremendous. Center field, and back there for the Padres, John Jay for the first out. Steve Finley along with us tonight as we move along in this game. And so far, Padres are getting some pretty good swings against Syndergaard.
Yeah, I mean, the nice short, crisp swings, not trying to do too much. You got to like where they're at right now. If they keep this going, hopefully get a couple more runs on the board and give Drew a little working room.
Pitch count was high for Pomeranz early through 25 first-inning pitches. And now it's 63 with one out here in the 4th inning dealing with Yoenis Cespedes. And Steve, I'm curious to get your thoughts on the kind of player that Cespedes is and all the tools he has as an outfielder.
He's a big game player. He has been since he's come in the league. You saw what he did when he came over to the Mets last year in the half season. Big home runs, big hits, driving in runs. He didn't have a good postseason, but I think some of that came from getting hit. But he got hit in the wrist prior to the postseason. I believe that affected him a little bit. But always a big game player. He's got a great arm in the outfield. Plays on both sides, offense and defense.
Well, Steve, we always hear, too, the presence in the batter's box. And what does that mean? You've been on plenty of lineups that have had that. Is that really a difference maker?
Huge. Well, look at when he left the Oakland A's a few years ago. He was in the middle heart of their order. They were right there competing. They thought they needed more pitching. They traded Cespedes out of there. I think they traded him to the Tigers. And look at their offense just fell apart. They thought they could move somebody else into that middle of that order. That just didn't work out.
The Pomeranz falling behind 3-0. Grooves that one in there for a strike.
There's definitely a mindset for the middle of the order. You have to want it. You have to want to be the guy in the lineup because you're going to be thrust into the spotlight. Have to drive in big runs and a lot of guys on base always around you.
Well, take the walk this time. That's the third walk allowed by Pomeranz, and it comes with 1 out in the inning.
And I don't mind that. Obviously, a 1-0 game. You want to be careful of the walks as we see the pitch count by inning starting to get up there just a little bit, and it's command with that fastball tonight for Drew Pomeranz. It was Cespedes last night getting the hit that broke up the no-hitter, and then the home run against Brad Hand. You got to be careful. That's the guy that you don't want him to beat you.
Now 1 on. Lucas Duda, the batter, grounded out into the shift to second base last time up. They're shifting again, but with the double play possibilities, they keep that shift in on the infield. And you may see Brett Wallace in a strange place. He may be covering second base here as part of that double play because the Padres' third baseman is on the right side of the infield.
Think about defense in that 35% there, they're right center. They're going to protect that both in the outfield and in the infield. And on the ground, this is a pull hitter. You don't have to worry about the bunt. Lucas Duda is trying to hit the ball out of the building. He has done that 7 times this year.
Out of a powerful Mets lineup. Took a hack there. There's some of the power for the Mets lineup. New York coming in first in home runs in the National League. We saw 2 of them last night. So far has been kept at bay tonight. Pomeranz missing.
I think if you look at this Mets offense, they have that power potential, but also it's hot and cold to me. Lucas Duda last year went on a run of home runs. Cespedes has that ability as well. The potential of the strikeout. You have to live and die with that home run.
Yeah, sometimes you have to win a game playing small ball, especially in the postseason. If you're hot in the postseason with a bunch of sluggers, you're going to roll. But if you're not, you have to be able to play that small ball. Sometimes with this pitching staff, you can win some 1-0, 2-1 games.
Yeah, the importance of just getting a run or a couple runs.
Yeah, the kind of pitching you generally face in the postseason is good.
Yeah. Got to play those tight games, and I think that's the benefit if you're thinking about the Padres and how they play the game here at Petco Park, and also in the NL West. You have to win 1-run games. Look at the success the San Francisco Giants have had. They've done a really nice job with 1-run games. That's a difference maker. I think Andy Green, the manager of the Padres, wants this club to play that way.
In the air to center field. John Jay tracking it, backpedaling. Will make the catch for out number 2. And Cespedes back to the bag at first with now 2 down in the inning.
Swings, you hit it right on the head. I mean, the really focus is on defense and pitching and being able to do the small things, being super aggressive on the bases. He preached that right out of the gate in spring training, and getting these guys to take extra bases. Take anything the game is going to give you on the field. Don't wait for something to happen.
Yeah, you have to take advantage of those nights when you're really offensively locked in, scoring a lot of runs, but predominantly in this game of baseball, especially at this level, you're going to have to win those one-run games by pitching and playing defense.
2 down. Cespedes at first, and Asdrubal Cabrera. That's his second look tonight at Pomerantz. Rounded out to short his first time up. Line into left center field, a base hit for Asdrubal Cabrera. Cespedes heading for third with good speed. He'll get there. Base hit to left center field for Cabrera, and it's now first and third with 2 down. The play in front of him, you can see Cespedes thrown into another gear.
That veteran shortstop coming in, hitting .295, and he capitalizes on a located pitch right over the middle with that line drive into left center.
That's just the first hit given up by Pomerantz tonight.
And he looked very comfortable in that at bat, looking for that fastball middle in.
Cespedes at third, Cabrera at first. 2 down here in the Mets' 4th inning. Wilmer Flores gets his second at bat of the night.
That's a really nice curveball by Drew Pomerantz. Spinning that very well, giving different looks. Only one pitch away from getting out of this situation, and you could see the calmness on the mound by Drew Pomerantz. Very impressive.
Well, you know it's a good curveball when you have the swing and miss rate he does on that one.
Well, the Padres fans trying to drown out the Mets fans. Get the Let's Go Mets chant going here at Petco Park. That's, of course, traveling very well.
Oh, who doesn't want to come to San Diego? Why not?
Absolutely.
Elvis wants to come. It's a sweet goggles.
The hair looks so natural.
God, I'm jealous.
Swing and a miss. Flores. A healthy hack there. Down 1 and 2.
Well, again, spinning the baseball, the curveball, and this is for a strike. With Flores not getting those consistent at bats, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to that curveball, or maybe even the high fastball here.
Curveball, but he misses in the dirt. Flores takes. And they doubled up, I think, along the same lines.
Well, that's what makes his curveball fastball combo so tough. His fastball, that high fastball, comes out top of the zone, and the curveball comes off in the same plane. Very difficult to pick up.
Yeah, visually from the hitter's perspective, that's setting that eye level to work that curveball for the swing and miss. That's right there, Steve. That's exactly what you're talking about. That high fastball at the top of the strike zone, out of the hands of the pitcher, looks so good. You actually have to work uphill most of the times. You get a lot of foul balls at the top of the strike zone. I think he's going back to the curveball here.
Cespedes at third, Cabrera at first. 2 down here in the Mets' 4th inning. Big pitch. And it's a hit on the ground to Ramirez at shortstop. He'll go to second for the force out. And Pomerantz out of the jam in the 4th inning. The Mets threaten but do not score. It's 1-0 San Diego.
Is there a difference between being relaxed and being lazy as a hitter?
Relaxed and lazy? Well,
sometimes guys say relax and you'll see a young player almost too loose.
Well, you can be, when we say relax, you want to be relaxed, not tight, not gripping the bat. When you grip the bat, your muscles get tense, and your bat's going to end up being slow. We say relaxed, get to the hitting position, and just flick the bat right to the hitting zone.
Yeah, and I love that too, because you think about it, what Alan Zinter, the hitting coach for the San Diego Padres, he talks about dancing with the pitcher and having that rhythm. And I think what it comes down to is keeping loose, like you talked about, Fins, but also staying short to the baseball and flicking your wrist. Let them supply the power.
Absolutely. You saw what Will Myers almost hit a home run the other way. He just nice and easy swing, didn't put any effort into it. That's how you hit an elite velocity fastball like Syndergaard's.
Syndergaard dealing with Matt Kemp, Brett Wallace, Melvin Upton in the inning. Kemp with a sac fly in the first inning, supplying the game's only run. And along the way, picking up his 23rd RBI of the year.
Now you think about the slider last time, as you talked about, Don, probably the most important at bat of the game so far. Matt Kemp looked foolish on the first slider previously and then ends up sacrifice fly to center field. That was huge for Matt in an RBI situation.
Now he sends one out to center field. Lagares is out there waiting. And he makes the catch for the first out here at the bottom of the fourth inning. Well, tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. 69 Major League pitchers have an average fastball velocity that is the same speed or slower than Noah Syndergaard's 92-mile-an-hour slider.
That's actually laughable, because if you think about it, this is a 23-year-old right-hander. As you said earlier, Don, 6'6", 242 pounds, and getting better with every start. Electricity of the fastball, but not many people throw a 92-mile-an-hour slider. Have you seen many?
Thank goodness they don't, or didn't whenever we played.
Let me ask about the changeup. There's not much of a separation between the two, right?
Yeah, I think that's the big difference maker for me. It's a variable between pitches, the fastball, the changeup, and also that slider. So you're seeing the Padres really lock into that fastball, and it'll speed your bat up in situations.
Lined and caught at first by Duda. Hot shot, but right at him. Wallace got a big piece of it, but he's out number 2.
As you saw right there, that was a slider, sped his bat up a little bit. We just need a little elevation on that one.
I always say to a lot of people, when you're coming off the bench, and especially Brett Wallace getting added at bats these days, you got to hunt that fastball. And if you get that bad breaking ball like that slider elevated, that's the reason why he's getting high fives right now. He smoked that ball.
2 down now for Melvin Upton. Flied out to the right fielder Curtis Granderson in the second inning.
You think about this, guys, when you're hunting that fastball and you're thinking simplicity, just getting the bat head, as you talked about, Steve, getting the bat head out there, you can stay off that tough slider, the tough changeup, pick it up out of their hands, and then you start getting into those fastball counts where you can sit dead red. It's a benefit when you're facing a guy with that much velocity.
I agree, because you're forcing yourself to hunt the fastball. You're staying short and quick, which is what you should do all the time. We've talked about that. That is actually what you should do all the time, but especially on a guy that throws 95 and up. You have to be short and quick to the baseball. It allows you to see the baseball a little longer, and to your point, lay off those nasty pitches that are on the corners or down in the dirt.
Second time through here. A lot more breaking balls than we saw first time through. We saw a lot of fastballs first time through, so switching it up here in a second look.
Yeah, it's a different look, and you're going to try to vary your times. We haven't seen many changeups out of the hand of Syndergaard tonight. Mostly been fastball, slider, and I don't think he's thrown a changeup all night.
Up the middle, into center field, some solid contact. Turning around a 98-mile-an-hour fastball is Melvin Upton Jr.
And that could be a reason we're seeing more breaking balls right now, because the Padres are getting some great swings on his fastball.
Well, the previous pitch before that fastball is the slider, and the take of Melvin Upton Jr. puts him in that mode of the fastball, and you can see him squaring that up. That knuckles off the bat. Constructing at bat for Melvin Upton Jr. That's beautiful.
Here's where I think we'll see a stolen base.
That's thinking along the same lines, and they check on Upton right away.
Well, to the benefit of Ramirez right now, going over and catching Melvin Upton Jr. over there. You can sit dead red right here because he's worried about that stolen base.
Stepping off, Syndergaard. Base hit by Upton, the 4th hit of the game for the Padres. John Jay leading the way tonight for San Diego. Has 2 hits in the game. Rivera giving the signs to Syndergaard. And a pitch out.
And you notice Upton gave a little bit of a fake. Typically when a pitcher pitches out, he does something a little bit different. And base stealers can pick up on that in a hurry and just shut it down.
But they're going to check on him again here. The throw over. Of course, those commands coming from the dugout.
Fastball away.
There goes Upton at first. Here's a liner into left center. A hit. Heading for third base is Upton, and maybe beyond. He'll be stopped there. And it's first and third. Padres have something going here with 2 down.
Well, tip your cap to the Padres. They are constructing at bats. They're locked into the fastball. Melvin Upton Jr. takes off, but Ramirez sitting on that fastball, getting the bat head on top. Again, a knuckleball off the bat of the San Diego Padres, and easily into third base is Melvin Upton Jr.
First and third, 2 down. Derek Norris coming up. He struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. It's not been a huge strikeout night for Syndergaard, who has struck out 2, one being Drew Pomeranz, the other being Derek Norris. And Norris enjoying his time against the Mets in his career, .480 average. Ball 1.
Well, this would be a huge moment for the San Diego Padres. 2 out RBIs. Last night, 3 for 3 night for Derek Norris with a walk. It's a confident hitter in the box.
Upton at third, Ramirez at first. 2 down in the inning. And taken off at first is Ramirez. The throw, there'll be none, and he steals second base. So 2 in scoring position now with 2 down.
Now the lack of concentration of Noah Syndergaard. The young right-hander, he doesn't even look at Ramirez, and he takes off. That's a timing aspect of Alexei Ramirez. 2 guys in scoring position.
You hit that right on the head. He's sitting there getting the cadence on him, and he just went right on that cadence.
Now Syndergaard wants to talk to Rivera. They're going back and forth on what to do here. Little room for error for the Mets battery here.
Well, you think about this, the battery too, Don, and this is the first time they've worked together. So that chemistry part in big situations, RBI situations, might come into play. That's the reason why you probably have a discussion here.
Alexei Ramirez at second base. Melvin Upton Jr. at third base. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Padres on top 1-0, looking to add on. Norris with a check swing foul on the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. The 1-2 pitch. That's up high. Trying to get Norris to chase at something out of the strike zone and up.
That's such a tough take because it comes out of his hands looking good, and that's that carry in the strike zone, out of the strike zone for Noah Syndergaard.
Norris hops it up, foul ground. Duda heading over towards the seats. He will reach and not make the catch. A little too far for him, and Norris will get another chance. On the camera angle and right on the camera.
Yeah, I heard that off the lens. That's not cheap.
That's a major league lens right there.
See Duda just off the edge of that glove. That's expensive. That'll cost you.
So a 2-2 again. Norris fouls it off, stays alive. How about 99 for you?
Yeah, with every pitch you gain confidence. You see it out of the hands. You start getting locked in to an at-bat. Last night, 2-strike hitting across the board, but Derek Norris started off with that double in his first at-bat.
Well, 2 outs. Padres get a hit from Upton and a hit by Ramirez, who would steal second base. Second and third, 2 down. And a battle here. Derek Norris. Norris may have gone. They check. He did not, according to Wendelstedt. Full count now. And that was close. Real close.
Whoa! Got to capitalize on a break. I think he got one there. Even with the base open, you got to be worried about Rene Rivera, the guy on third base. I think this is a fastball situation. One thought.
Norris fouls it off to the right. That one thought's the fastball, and he got it. Good battle. Next pitch will be the 9th pitch of this at bat. Noah Syndergaard.
One thing Derek Norris prides himself on is not giving up any at bat during the year. Talking to him in spring training, he never wants to give one of them up.
Payoff pitch again. Norris fouls it back again.
Oh, you see him trying to elevate that 98-mile-an-hour fastball there. Derek Norris continues to battle.
Pitch count rising now for Syndergaard. Next pitch will be the 63rd of his outing.
Well, Andy Green's got to be happy with this offense and how they've grinded out at bats.
He would love to get some runs right here, though. With Upton at third, Ramirez at second, 2 down. Norris fouls off another.
Ten pitches this at bat. This has been tremendous.
And he's coming right after him here on full count. You wonder if he's going to try to mix in a slider at some point here.
Eleventh pitch of the at-bat. Norris takes it, and it's strike 3. So there you go. Does mix it in there in the end. Good call, Steve Finley. Gets him. That is the 3rd strikeout for Syndergaard. The Padres strand a pair. San Diego has a 1-0 lead. Padres baseball brought to you by Sequan Casino. Sign up for the new Padres club card today. And by Jack in the Box. Taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo. And by Mercury Insurance. We're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today. You know, the Padres threatening in the last half of the fourth inning, but they do not score. Syndergaard had to work hard, but he finally struck out Derek Norris. And it's into the fifth inning we go. Drew Pomeranz back on the mound, 83 pitches deep into his outing. The Mets catcher Rivera leads it off and fouls off the first pitch.
You think about the offense for the San Diego Padres and giving a much needed rest and a breather for Drew Pomeranz. See how he reacts to that in the top of the fifth.
It'd be nice to get him a quick inning right here to hopefully get that sixth inning out of him.
Big looping curveball that misses high. Ray Rivera walked in the third inning, one of 3 walks allowed by Pomeranz. Equaled his total of walks with strikeouts in this game tonight. With 8-9-1 for the Mets. Rivera, Syndergaard, and Granderson. And a grounder that is a foul ball. Wow, that was very close. Had a look of going up over the bag, but Trip Gibson, third base umpire, said it didn't.
Let's see the Rene Rivera right down the line. I thought that was a pretty good call. Tim Tuffle, the third base coach, reacted. This diving play by Brett Wallace. Good attempt. Tim Tuffle down there very frustrated with Trip Gibson.
And a full count down, leadoff hitter. Mentioned Rivera's already walked in this game. And Pomeranz been very careful in dealing with him. Swing and a miss, elevates, and Rivera chases. Strikeout number 4 for Pomeranz. And the first out here of the fifth inning. Well, this rooftop shot is brought to you by Pinnacle on the Park. And a good look back into Petco Park in game 2 of this 4-game series between the Padres and Mets. So far, we've been precipitation free, a little on the cool side tonight, but no rain yet. One out, and here is Noah Syndergaard.
Whoa.
Now that you said that, there's going to be some rain on the way.
I probably just jinxed it for us. A lot of good hats around the ballpark tonight. Ones are bundled up. And there's a pitch outside, makes it 2-0. For 7 on the season is Syndergaard at the plate. Pomeranz coming into this game 2-3 individually. 2.48 earned run average, his 6th start of the year. Trying to follow up what Colin Ray did last night. Colin Ray, who ended up with the win, flirted with a no-hitter last night, 6 2/3 before giving up his first hit of the night. Swing and a miss, but it gets a long way away from Norris. Norris will pick it up and throw to first. Myers applies the tag on the bag. 5 strikeouts now for Syndergaard. It's time now for greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, Ben Zobrist had a big day today for the Cubs in an 8-6 win against Washington. 2 for 2 with 2 homers and 4 runs batted in. Well, Cole Hamels, 7 innings of shutout pitching as part of a Rangers 5-1 win at Detroit. And Giancarlo Stanton, we showed you his home run earlier.
Wow.
10th home run, 7 in his last 11 games. As the Marlins beat the Phillies 6-4.
We'll be heading to Chicago Sunday after the game for a 3-game series in Chicago, and then to Milwaukee for 4.
And heading in to face a very good Chicago Cubs team.
Oh, they've been tremendous. Started off offensively, not very good. Now they're clicking on all cylinders. And arguably the best pitcher, the right-handed pitcher, Jake Arrieta, in the game.
And John Lackey on the mound today. And Lester in that rotation as well.
Hopefully the ivy's starting to green up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's a beautiful ballpark at Wrigley Field.
Always one of my favorites.
You guys both like playing there?
I actually did.
Yeah.
I mean, the day games disrupt a lot of people, but you can speak to it, Fins, because you were an everyday player. How was it for you?
I loved it. I loved the day games there, the crowd, the ambiance, the field.
Shift is on. It's the shortstop. Ramirez on the right side of the infield is going to throw out Granderson. Pomeranz has 1, 2, 3, fifth, and has a 1-0 lead. Moment in All-Star history brought to you by Geico. July 14, 1970, Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. Bottom of the 12th inning, Reds outfielder Pete Rose slid hard into home plate, flattening American League catcher Ray Fosse. Both players were injured. Fosse dropped the ball, allowing Rose to score the winning run. Rose was roundly criticized for the play, as many felt it was too aggressive in what amounted to an exhibition game. The 23-year-old Fosse suffered a fractured and separated left shoulder, and the National League won 5-4. Of course, Ray Fosse, now the longtime analyst on Oakland Athletics television. A little excessive for an exhibition game, would you say, although he played the game that way all the time.
Always did, and that's probably what you're going to talk about most. But I don't think you're going to see that in an All-Star game anytime soon.
Even though it counts now?
I don't think it matters.
Well, now you're not allowed to.
Right, well,
that's why.
Yeah.
Well, if you block the plate like that, I think you're allowed to, but that's
up.
not. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, Jamal Weeks leading it off here. Jabari Blash has come out on deck for the pitcher spot. So Pomeranz, who's at 97 pitches through 5 innings, will be done. There is Jabari Blash waiting on deck. It's time now to check out the Cholula flamethrower. And I have a feeling this is going to be hot sauce.
Well, listen, it is hot sauce, but that's triple digits. That's hot sauce. But it's still the visitor.
Right, so you can't get too carried away.
You can't get too carried away.
No.
So I got to tone that down a little bit.
Take that way back.
It's hot sauce.
Well, the Padres are returning that hot sauce right back to the outfield.
Yeah, no, it's been
pretty
hotter
firm.
off the barrel of the Padre hitters.
The strike call could have gone the other way. Instead, it's a full count. Weeks was ready to toss that bat and head down to first base. Instead, now he's going to climb back in with a full count. Now he'll take ball 4.
Oh, what a great at bat.
First walk. You don't see many walks given up by Syndergaard. That's the first of tonight's game. It's drawn by Weeks, the number 8 hitter.
I'd say you'll see an aggressive Weeks on looking to take a base right here early.
Kevin Quackenbush up in the pen for the Padres. As Pomeranz being hit for here by Jabari Blash. These at-bats for Blash have been coming few and far between. Got to be tough on the timing at the plate.
Very difficult, asking him to rely on his repertoire and what he's trying to do with a routine. 2 pinch hits and 11 opportunities for Jabari Blash off the bench. But there's no excuse. You got a major league uniform on. You got to find a way.
Pomeranz, look at the line for him, giving up just the 1 hit. 3 walks, 5 Ks through a total of 98 pitches.
Well, probably not the command that Drew Pomeranz would like, but he sure got himself out of some tough situations tonight. He and Derek Norris looked very in sync. And again, that curveball and the swing and miss on that curveball really came into play. Speaking of stuff.
Throw to first, low throw, and Duda does a nice job coming off the bag to reel that in. Syndergaard almost threw it down the line.
Well, again, the move and the awkward throw. He looks like it's getting in his head. It's obviously in his mind. He's not thinking about executing his pitch. He could capitalize here.
Flash and a check swing, and look out in the Padres dugout. That'll scatter him. Big Mac over there on the move. And Balsley was there as well.
Seriously, if it's going to hit him, is it going to hurt? Really?
Really?
He's going to dent the ball.
John Jay ducked after it went past him.
There goes Weeks at first. Blash with a swing and a miss. Throw down, and Weeks is safe. He steals second base on the strikeout of Blash. Weeks gets into scoring position. And they're going to check on this. Rivera looking into the dugout. They thought that perhaps Flores may have gotten the tag on the way by.
Good jump by Jamal Weeks, and you can see the slide. Watch that left hand sliding on the back part of the base. That looks safe to me. That's the reason why you slide on the back part, the center field area.
Oh, yeah. I think he's in there.
It's a really good jump on a fastball. And a good throw by Rivera.
I don't want to keep the tag on him because it looked like he may have come off there. As it turned out, no challenge here by the Mets. Runner at second, 1 out. John Jay, the batter. Jay is 2 for 2 against Syndergaard tonight. A double and a single.
And there's that changeup you've been looking for. 90 miles an hour.
Third time around, and that's the first changeup of the night.
Now Weeks taking off for third. There's a liner into center field for a base hit. Here comes Weeks around from third, and the Padres will take a 2-0 lead. John Jay on his 3rd hit of the night has put San Diego on top 2-0.
Well, John Jay capitalizing on a mistake by Noah Syndergaard. Jamal Weeks scores easily because he was off to the races on that pitch. But again, John Jay and his consistency. Looked like another changeup. See Rivera coming out of the crouch. Weeks scores easily with that line drive to center. Nice hitting by the leadoff hitter of the Pods.
So Jay at first base, held on over there by Duda, and the pitch is down. For ball 1 to Myers. 3rd hit of the night for John Jay. A double, 2 singles, and this one drives in another run for the Padres.
Well, what's impressive to me, 2-strike hitting ability of John Jay, but also the first one, the double to left, next one to right, and then the last one to center field, using all the field. That's when you know you're locked in, right, Steve?
Yeah, well, you saw him that second at bat, took a fastball almost inside at 98 miles an hour, pulled his hands in nice and easy and pulled it for a base hit to right. That's not easy to do. When you're locked in, those are the things that happen.
Myers rolls it over, foul.
Again, Don, certain situations in the game, and Steve knows this, 11 pitch at bat for Derek Norris. Even though he struck out, you wonder what that did to Noah Syndergaard moving forward. Coming into this inning, the walk of Weeks, the stolen bases have come into play, and now you're seeing a right-hander, a young right-hander, trying to get out of a tough jam.
On the ground towards short, could be 2. The second for one on to first, it is 2. 6-4 to 3 on the double play that ends the inning. However, the Padres had a run. They've got a 2-0 lead through 5. The 5th inning. It's time now for the San Diego fans of the game tonight. Padres fans, you gotta like what they have seen in this first 2 games of this series. This is fun. Padres won last night, jumped out to a 2-0 lead tonight. And the Padres faithful pleased with this.
Yeah, I love seeing all the kids with their fathers and all that Padre gear out there. Good to see.
Well, it is Kevin Quackenbush into the game as this pitching change brought to you by El Cajon Ford.
Last pitched against the Colorado Rockies 2/3 of an inning, but he has done a really nice job against left-handers, limiting them 2 for 17. It's a 118 average.
Juan Lagares leading it off here for the Mets. Quackenbush starts him with a breaking ball, and it's in there for a strike. Lagares has popped out of second base, grounded back to the mound. It's 2, 3, and 4 in the inning here for the Mets. And Pomeranz needs help from the pen as the pen takes over here in the 6th inning. Just 1 hit in 5 innings for Pomeranz. No runs. Walked 3, struck out 5. 98 pitches for Pomeranz. Once Pomeranz. Lagares popped out of second base, grounded back to the mound. Fly ball center field, sending John Jay drifting backpedaling for out number 1. So Lagares retired.
Well, Steve, you see in John Jay, and now he's starting to look very comfortable after a month of a home field here at Petco Park. What's your impressions?
Well, you start to learn the field. You learn when the ball carries, when it doesn't. I mean, you see him playing really shallow. A lot of the outfielders in both sides playing really shallow at the night games here. Day games, you got to back it up a little bit. The ball's going to carry another 10, 15, 20 feet off the bat. But a lot of balls go to die out there in the nighttime, up in the air.
One down here in the 6th inning. Is this park played a little bit differently? This is a fly ball to right field, sending Kemp back. It'll take him almost to the track, but he's there for his 2nd out, 2 down. And quite a catch last night by John Jay.
You see him covers an immense amount of ground, knows exactly where the warning track is, knows exactly his extension and slide there so he doesn't crash into the wall. Fantastic play. Keep a no-hitter intact.
And Steve, also touch on, too, with a flash look for center field and outfields when they get to that warning track.
It is. I mean, it's called a warning track to warn you the wall's right there, and you have to know how deep it is and where you hit it so that you know when you have to jump or you have to pull up so you don't hurt yourself on the wall.
2 down in the 6th inning brings up Yoenis Cespedes, who was struck out and walked on the night. The hit for the Mets belongs to Asdrubal Cabrero's, a single to center field in the 4th inning.
Yeah, how about these Mets fans right out there, 396? They are chirping at John Jay. Great seats out there. San Diego Beach. I was out there last homestand. The New Yorkers.
Not used to having guys chirping at you in your home park.
I don't want to imitate them. You never know what's going to come out.
Cespedes, a swing and a miss there, was geared up and ready, and that one by him, 1-2.
Effectively pitching at the top of the strike zone for Kevin Quackenbush.
We know at nighttime in this ballpark, pitching up and away is not a bad philosophy because it's going to take almost everything someone has to get a ball out of here the opposite way.
This is struck well towards deep right center field. Kemp going back onto the track. He reaches up, and Kemp able to make the catch out there and right. Matt Kemp flashing some leather after he ran a long time. A 1-2-3-6th inning for Quackenbush, but he gets some help for Kemp, who's fired up out there. Make the catch and smack the wall. You're Matt Kemp. 6th inning. We've seen it a bunch before. A great catch, and then the guy leads off the next inning. And here's the great catch part for Matt Kemp.
Well, you know, Steve, first step, and Matt Kemp's first step was perfect. Why does he have to bash our sign? We're giving some good looks. Don't kill us.
Because he's Matt Kemp.
Stay off, Fox. Great catch.
Great first step. And that's how you make those catches. It's those first steps and getting your line where you're heading on a straight line to where the ball's going to be.
Well, Kemp tonight, sac fly and a fly out to center field. Changing up again, and a lot more as this game goes on, is Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah, just given different looks. You might credit Rene Rivera, the catcher there, trying to go to that sequence. I'm just surprised they didn't go to that changeup earlier in this game.
That's a tough pitch when you throw a changeup down and in to a right-hander when you throw 98.
In the air to right center field. Lagares, the center fielder, makes the catch on Kemp. Third time tonight that Kemp has flied out to Lagares. And there's one out here in the 6th inning. That brings up Brett Wallace, who lined out very sharply his last time up to first base. 0 for 2 so far tonight. Well, that's one thing that has gone underrated this year, has been the defense of Matt Kemp and his mobility out there, and how healthy he's been in right field.
You know, he comes into this year with defensive metrics not on his favor in Tarek Brock, and I think they've done a really nice job protecting him. And what I mean about that is just the area he has to cover. The first step's still there, but I think he was exposed a little bit at times last year trying to cover too much area. Maybe the center fielder. And I think John Jay has a lot to do with that. You know, Steve, on the corners you have to communicate, but also you would pinch the gaps a little bit in certain situations, especially who was on the corners for you.
Well, you have to know your guys and what ground they cover. So you draw circles around our territory. You just don't want them overlapping too much, and you don't want them separated too much. You try to keep that happy medium.
Shift on. It's Wilmer Flores in short right, who's going to throw out Wallace for the second out of the inning. So the shift works there on the other side for the Mets. Let's take a look at a couple of catches last night and tonight for the Padres defense out there in the outfield.
We've seen a lot of them, and Jay's catch last night set the tone, in my estimation, for Colin Ray to go out there and attack. Defensive help, and also Matt Kemp tonight. Those are difference makers.
And if you notice, both of their routes straight as an arrow, right to where the ball is going to be, and that comes from seeing ball after ball after ball in batting practice and knowing where those balls are going to drop whenever they hit off the bat.
So you're really running to a spot more than anything else, and then worrying about the ball later.
Absolutely, absolutely. Allows you to take your eye off the ball.
Well, I think a lot of outfielders aren't comfortable with that. You know, and watching Steve do that, he would run to that area and have the ability to look back and really focus on that. But that it's not everybody. When you're on the corner, it's very difficult to read the ball off the bat like it is in center field. But you got to rely on your center fielder. When I played right field for Tony Gwynn and I knew Steve Finley was next to me, I didn't have to worry about that gap. That gap was covered. So it helps me on the corners to make sure that you're taking care of that area. But John Jay, as you can see, having constant communication. That's the reason why you see him in center field all the time.
Melvin Upton Jr., 1 for 2 in the game, is flied out to right, single to center. And he'll head down to first base with a 2-out walk. Another walk, Syndergaard, with 2 walks, and they've come in the last 2 innings.
You see the pitch count by inning, and you're seeing a dip of velocity. You see more changeups. The slider's not as sharp. I think the Padres have taken away that thought process of you can't just throw fastballs by them. Even though the score indicates that they haven't dominated Noah Syndergaard, they have had some really nice at-bats tonight.
Alexei Ramirez with 2 outs and a runner at first.
Well, I think if there's one thing certain, you're going to see Melvin Upton trying to take a base right here. 2 outs, 2-run lead. This is the time you gamble. And Syndergaard knows it.
Alexei Ramirez 2 for 2, a single to left, a single to center, has stolen a base. Padres shortstop's had a good night.
And he's still looking for that first home run as a Padre.
More breaking balls from Syndergaard.
Oh, 100 miles an hour, triple digits on the high, 79 on the low. That 79 is the changeup.
For the first, and leaning in the other direction was Upton. Swing and a miss. Far less fastballs in this inning now for Syndergaard as he gets deep into the pitch count. Next pitch will be his 95th.
Yeah, pitching backwards. You could see the slider there. The fastball scenario. Ramirez has handled that fastball with ease tonight.
Pitch out and nothing doing. Remaining at first base was Upton. Now it's 2-2.
He just doesn't look comfortable holding runners on. He's varied his times a little bit. It almost looks like he is thinking about that runner at all times.
Runner goes. And it's fouled off as Ramirez gets a piece. That time Upton was in motion. Two and two the count. With 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Upton at first base, held on by Duda. Good sized lead right at the cutout. There he goes again. And a swing and a miss. Ramirez strikes out on the breaking ball to end the 6th inning. We're headed for the 7th with San Diego on top 2-0. Cabrera's game summary, and the Padres able to get a run in the bottom of the first inning as John Jay started it with a double, then Matt Kemp with a sac fly would bring him in. Throw from Lagares was off the mark, and San Diego takes the 1-0 advantage. They would add on in the 5th inning. Base hit by John Jay. It'll score. Jamal Weeks would walk to begin the inning. How about some defense? Matt Kemp makes the grab out there against the wall. Noah Syndergaard, 6 innings, 6 hits, charged with those 2 runs, while Pomeranz, with a high pitch count through 5 innings, allowed just 1 hit, no runs through 98 pitches in those 5 innings. And John Jay, perfect 3 for 3 on the night. Padres moving on to their 3rd arm of the night. Ryan Buchter into the game. He's been very good. See that nifty 0.71 earned run average.
Yeah, and he has cemented himself into that 7th inning role. And with Lucas Duda coming in, leading off, Adam Rosales goes in on the double switch.
Lucas Duda leading it off here for the Mets. Cabrera and Flores to follow. That's only hit belongs to Asdrubal Cabrera. It came in the 4th inning. Single to center field. Trying to pick up that outside corner. Unable to.
Fox tracks by Nissan. He got a little bit of a break there. Looked like that fastball is off the plate.
Jim Henderson up in the pen for the Mets. DeGrom last night, Syndergaard tonight. Padres able to beat DeGrom last night and have a 2-0 lead against Syndergaard in tonight's game. Syndergaard through 6 innings, 97 pitches. With Henderson warming in the pen now for the Mets. 2-2 is grounded foul.
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Two and two to Duda, leading it off here in the 7th inning. And a fly ball to center field. John Jay out there. 1 down in the 7th. Not busy out there in center field tonight. So 1 down, and that'll bring up Asdrubal Cabrera. Mentioned he's got the only hit of the night. Running to short in the 2nd, and then the single to center in the 4th inning. Veteran shortstop. Eight in a row retired by Padres pitching.
See that 93-mile-an-hour fastball with that cutting action. What makes Ryan Buchter so tough, in my estimation, he hides the baseballs. That's the deception that a lot of hitters will talk about. You see some awkward swings. They're not picking it out off that release point.
On Monday, when Buchter last worked, he struck out 4 of the 5 batters that he faced. 0.71 ERA, tied for 4th in the National League among relievers. Fouled back, 2-1. Fastball at 93 for Buchter. And to begin this year, Buchter has worked scoreless baseball in 12 of his 13 games to start the year. This is the first time that he has been on an opening day roster for a major league team.
Well, he earned it, but I don't think they expected this type of dominance. I don't think he fits into that lefty specialist, especially with that power arm and the good curveball to go along with that. But he is, in my estimation, been the best reliever other than the closer for the Padres. He's been the best reliever so far.
Lined into left center field. That's in for a base hit. Upton over to play it. The second hit of the night belongs to the guy who had the first hit of the night for the visiting Mets. It says Drupal Cabrera. 1-out single this time.
Yeah, really the same swing. Back-to-back at bats by the veteran shortstop.
So a base runner with one down, and it brings up Wilmer Flores. Flores flying out to left in the second. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the fourth inning. Line down the left field line. This will head towards the left field corner. Cabrera's headed for third as Upton digs it out. They're going to try and score Cabrera. Throw from left field to the plate is going to be in time. Or did he drop it? He dropped the ball, but he's calling him out. It was after the out, apparently. As the ball did come loose, but it is an out at the plate, and to third base goes Flores.
Well, you see the throw, and it was a perfect throw by Ramirez, and the tag of Derek Norris. Now watch him. He spins, and I think he had that thought of Flores going to third base, and he drops that ball. That's going to be interesting. I'm surprised Tuffle ends up winding him up. It's a perfect relay from Melvin Upton Jr. and a strike to Derek Norris.
Collins was out there to argue, and Norris injured right now as they check on him. And I think Collins arguing whether or not he had complete control of that ball as
I think
it does come out.
This is just a scenario for Terry Collins. I think he has to challenge this.
Norris is in some pain right now. Tough to tell what he heard in that. Looks like a lower leg injury.
Well, it looked like he took the throw, and then that left foot with Cabrera sliding head first. Looked like he stepped on that left arm.
He's trying to put some weight on it.
No, it's actually his right foot that hits that left arm.
He got it tucked underneath his body too and rolled it. It is an official challenge by Terry Collins and the Mets.
It's going to be interesting because you wonder if he definitely had control of that baseball.
It looks like on the transfer to me is where he dropped the ball. I feel like the tag was made that he reached into his glove with the idea of going to third base, as you mentioned. Looks up and sees Flores heading to third. And he dropped it on the transfer. So he is out. That is the call. Challenge lost by the Mets.
Well, hopefully Derek Norris is okay.
A double by Flores. Cabrera thrown out. 7-6-2 at the plate. The real question is whether Norris is going to stay in this game.
Well, if it's up to Derek Norris, you're going to have to pull him out of this game. It's very tough, and you have to be. Ryan Buchter doesn't make it any easier for him, but you take a look at the throw. Perfect throw by Ramirez, plenty of time. And that right foot stepping on the slide of Cabrera. There it is, and you could see it just moving. You wonder if he tweaked his ankle a little bit with making contact. I'm surprised Cabrera, that slide head first scares me all the time when you slide head first into the home plate.
A lot of big bad things can happen.
You know, with all the changing of the rules, yes, it protects the catcher, but it puts base runners in harm's way, especially when they have the head first slide into home plate.
Norris out to talk to Buchter. 2 down in the inning. Flores 90 feet away now as he gets third on the throw. And Rene Rivera coming up here now for the Mets.
Well, if Buchter can get out of this, I think third base coach Tim Tuffle took an opportunity right there, and it's a perfect relay by the Padres. But with one out, you were trying to question that. You have to be sure you're going to be safe in a situation like that when you're down 2 runs.
Swing and a miss for Rivera. Neil Walker has come out on deck here now. Syndergaard looking on as the Mets making some noise here in the 7th. Outside. On the ground towards third base, but a foul ball. That one off of Rivera. But all the way down to Rosales at third base. There's Walker waiting on deck with pinch hit. That is now the 8th inning guy. And Brandon Maurer warming in the pen right now for the Padres.
So many options you can have for Ryan Buchter here. You can go elevated fastball, that cutting fastball, or pitch away. They went upstairs last time they got him.
One almost got away as Norris comes out of the crouch to reel it in on the backhand. And they started with Duda with a fly out to center. Cabrera with a single to left. Doubled by Flores. As Cabrera's gunned down at the plate, Flores takes third base. Now a 2-2 to Rene Rivera. And it's popped up, sending Weeks into shallow right. Second baseman is under it and he puts it away. Well, the play at the plate from Upton to Ramirez. Plateward to Norris for the tag. Keeps the Padres on top 2-0 and keeps the Mets off the board. Padres baseball brought to you by Tough Turtle Turf, the industry's only lifetime turf. By Petco, your complete pet store. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealers. Well, the Padres right now with a 2-0 advantage as they come to bat in the last half of the 7th inning. And San Diego making some noise. The Padres are 2.5 games back of the Rockies and the Giants.
Well, you got to try to win series, Don, and we've seen the Padres. They have done a nice job consistently winning series. They haven't put the teams away, but you see it all bunched up. And that's a good thing if you're the San Diego Padres, the way they started the season. Now they're playing consistent baseball.
Able to do it against the Dodgers, able to do it against the Rockies, and trying to take game 2 here this series against the Mets. Jim Henderson checks in his 14th appearance, 0-1, 1.04 earned run average. Righty's hitting at just 167 against him, and this right-hander Derek Norris will look at ball 1.
Well, heavy on the fastball slider, especially to the right-handers. Has a crossfire delivery. Very impressive with the fastball as Neil Walker takes over for second base.
Out of a double switch for the Mets, who will lead off in the 8th inning. That's in there for a strike over the inside corner. So Syndergaard goes the first 6 innings. Gives up a total of 6 hits to the Padres, 3 of them to John Jay. And 2 runs, walked 2, struck out 4. And like DeGrom, Syndergaard is now on the hook as he leaves this game. More action as Jerry Blevins warms in the pen now for the Mets. Norris will foul it off to the right, out of play.
Think about the scenario why Jerry Blevins is up. John Jay with a great night, 3 for 3, a double and 2 singles. That's the reason why he is up, because Rosales has taken over that 9th spot.
Norris thought about it, lays off, and it's downstairs. A full count now. Henderson unscored upon in 12 of his 13 previous outings. So a stretch right now, 5 1/3 straight scoreless innings. And 167 breakdown against right-handers. They are just 3 for 18 against this particular right-hander. Norris reaches out, protects the plate, fouls off a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Last time 11 pitches, and he really good at bat against Noah Syndergaard. See the confidence rising for Derek Norris, and the consistency is going to come back if you continue to battle with these at bats.
This Mets bullpen collectively with a 2.76 earned run average. A good rotation, you got a good pen, they've got good pitching all the way around.
That's how they're going to win ball games, but the same goes for the San Diego Padres.
Fouled off to the right, out of play. You want to make sure and join us tomorrow for game 3 of the series. Late afternoon baseball. Bartolo Colon matched up against James Shields. Pre-game gets underway at 5 o'clock with Padres Live.
Well, that's a great matchup. And just the pitching and competitiveness for the two. Bartolo Colon, see him bundled up.
James Shields coming off his first win, easily could have a couple more.
Bartolo Colon's been pitching for 35 years.
To right field, Granderson going back, and he'll run it down. First out here at the bottom of the 7th inning. Curtis Granderson taking care of it. You put it like that, it really is unbelievable.
It's unreal. Just keeps coming back. Yeah. Fastball after fastball. But it's going to be a great matchup tomorrow night if you like pitching and that competitive nature that both of them have.
And out here in the 7th inning brings up Jemile Weeks. Right in the middle of the Padres' second run. He walked to begin things in the 5th inning against Syndergaard. Stole second base and would score on the single to center by John Jay.
Well, you touched on it earlier, Don, about the defense that Jamal Weeks has brought to the table. But tonight, having those bats at the end of the order, that's been huge for the San Diego Padres, trying to add on offensively the bottom half of the order.
Henderson, first reliever in the game here for Terry Collins and the Mets. As the first out of the 7th inning. Picks up that outside corner. Robles has now joined Blevins. So you got a lefty and a right-hander up in that Mets pen as they try to put together the later stages of this game. The starter, Syndergaard, has been chased after 6 innings. Outside corner again, and I'm not sure either one were strikes, but it's 2-2.
Yeah, on our Fox tracks by Nissan, you see that 3rd and 4th pitch on the outside part of the plate. Rosales on the on-deck circle. He was a double switch last inning.
Now the pitcher spot is 4th in the Padres order. Sprayed foul off to the left. 30,108 on hand tonight. 30,108. Look at the box score for the Padres, and John Jay right at the top of that list, leading the charge, setting the table for San Diego, 3 for 3, and has driven in one of the 2 runs the Padres have. Swing and a foul tip into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. Weeks strikes out. 2 down here in the 7th inning.
Tomorrow, MLB on FS1 is back with 2 monster games featuring some of the baseball's best players. It all starts as the Rangers take on the Tigers in a game you can only see on FS1. Then the Nationals head to Wrigley to take on the Cubs. The action begins at 9:30 p.m. Pacific on FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. It's FS1, not FS1. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
Let's try to
I
throw a little accent in there.
2 down here in the 7th inning. And here is Adam Rosales for the first time. 192 average on the year, 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Into his 23rd game of the year. A lot of them coming off the bench. Part of a double switch tonight. Anderson walking counterclockwise around the mound, then back up on top of the hill. Late on the fastball, 93 uncorked from Henderson.
Doesn't it seem like every reliever has that quirkiness?
Yeah.
Built in.
Natural.
Well, our colleague Mark Grant, former reliever, starter reliever, you know he's got his repertoire too.
And you talk quirky. As Rosales strikes out, back-to-back strikeouts for Henderson. To the 8th we go, 2-0 San Diego.
every chance he gets. When Steve and I see you on the postgame show, we'll break down the ball game tonight. We'll talk about Drew Pomeranz and that nasty curveball of his. Also, Andy Green's interview. You don't want to miss that. And the Cubs, guys, chasing history, getting closer tonight. We'll have that for you after the final hour.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. It's into the 8th inning we go, and that means it is Brandon Maurer time as he comes in for the 8th. 15th appearance of the year, 0-1. 4.61 earned run average, but he has been very good for San Diego, especially in this inning. It's become his inning.
Yeah, you see those splits, very good, and it's using every bit of his repertoire, the slider, the changeup, and also that fastball. Occasional curveball at times, but he fits perfectly into this role before the closer, Fernando Rodney.
When you think about it, he can rear back now if he's just going to go an inning and you get that extra velocity on the fastball. This was in the mix in the starting rotation talk all of spring training, really up till the end, and he has filled into this 8th inning spot very well. 1-2 pitch is going to miss. No runs allowed in his last 5 games. No hits allowed in his last 4 appearances. Swing and a miss, and he makes quick work of Neil Walker for the first out of the 8th inning.
Well, set him up with off speed early in the count and pitching backwards, getting behind that fastball, 97 miles an hour, blowing it by Neil Walker.
You mentioned the no hits. Look at his last 3 outings. That's Colorado and at Los Angeles. There's one out here in the 8th inning. Curtis Granderson, the top of the Mets order. He takes a look at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1. Anderson has walked, flying out to left, and grounded out to shortstop. Padres shifting against him on the right side. 2-1. There's the shift with Weeks in short right field. And they bring Adam Rosales, the third baseman, to the right side of the infield. Anderson off balance there in the changeup. 2-2.
Now good arm speed on the changeup. You have 97 miles an hour. You see the grip and the location. Perfect pitch by Brandon Maurer.
98, fouled back.
Well, that's pitching. That's the reason why you can locate that fastball up in the strike zone after that changeup. Different eye levels.
Good bat here for Granderson, fouling off another.
Let's see if he goes back to that changeup.
In the air to left field. Upton going back towards the track and onto it to make the catch for the second out of the 8th. Well, it's time now for the Bill Howe play of the game, and the catch in right field by Matt Kemp.
Well, we saw it from John Jay, and the stretch by Matt Kemp going towards the sign. What do I call this? Free advertising for Fox Sports. Watch out! What a great catch by Matt Kemp, and a difference maker defensively.
2 down here in the 8th. Michael Conforto is going to pinch hit here for Juan Lagares. Conforto, who started in last night's game. 301 average, 4 homers, 18 runs batted in, comes off the bench for Terry Collins here in the 8th inning.
Talented young hitter for the New York Mets. 11 doubles on the season as well. 93 at bats.
Shifting on him again. Similar shift to the one we just saw for Granderson. Off balance swing again, and that changeup is working very well for Mauer.
You have that same release point as your fastball, and it works off of that. They're swinging on your arm speed. In my estimation, it's the most difficult pitch to really see out of the hands.
Two outs, base is empty. Conforto is pinch hitting here for New York. And a swing and a miss, back to the gas.
When you take a look at Brandon Mauer, Mauer power, and I agree with that. You're up to 97, 98. You can put anything on your gloves. That's the reason why mine was blank. I was lucky to have a glove.
Full count now.
He still put himself in a situation. I'd be surprised if he doesn't go with that fastball located, but good feel for that changeup. It's in play here.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. A 1-2-3 eighth inning. I would call that Mauer power as we head to the last of the eighth inning. Walker, Conforto, both down by way of the K. Now the Padres come to bat here in the bottom of the eighth inning, enjoying a 2-0 lead against the New York Mets. Time now for In the Driver's Seat, brought to you by Kia. And how about John Jay? 3 for 3, a couple of singles, a double, a run driven in, and he has scored a run on his own.
He has been putting on a show using every part of the field.
New pitcher for the Mets. A lefty with a curveball. It's Jerry Blevins into the game.
You see the curveball, fastball, and changeup to go along with it. Very erratic with the fastball. You almost sit off speed if you're the left-handers here.
This year he's retired 11 of the first 12 batters that he has faced as the closer for the Padres getting ready in the pen. Last year fracturing his left forearm on a line drive. Right back at him as this one is fouled off to the left. It's off the bat of Miami's D. Gordon on April 19th. Refractured his left forearm on August the 3rd.
Wow.
There's Conforto now in left field, and Cespedes has moved from left to center. The defensive changes for the Mets out in the outfield. 1-2 to John Jay. And he's just outside.
Rene Rivera tried to pull that one back in.
Looks like he's pretty good at that, watching him frame pitches tonight.
Yeah, you could tell, and really made a huge difference in the Padre uniform. And it's a benefit for the Mets as well moving forward.
Off speed, and that one strikes him out. So Jay off balance on the curveball, and John Jay strikes out. That is 3 strikeouts in a row now for Mets pitching. And it'll be 1 and done for Jerry Blevins, as heading out there is Terry Collins to make the change here with 1 out in the 8th inning. So the pitching change from Petco Park. If the pitcher doesn't fall down the stairs first, it's 2-0 San Diego. The last half of the 8th inning, San Diego on top 2-0 over the Mets. Let's take a look at the keys to the game. Let's review those keys, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealer.
Well, you see against Noah Syndergaard, he has had trouble with the running game, and 2 stolen bases for the San Diego Padres. And the Weeks one was very important, scoring that second run. And Pomeranz 5 innings, 1 hit allowed, and the defensive shifts really have come into play. Even without his command tonight, that curveball came into play, especially with shifts.
Well, with 1 out, Will Myers coming up here, and then Matt Kemp. Addison Reed, the new pitcher now for New York. Myers fouling the first fastball off to the right.
Well, Addison Reed has done a nice job, especially in right-handers. That's the reason why Terry Collins summons him a 160 average against right-handers.
These Mets, of course, with postseason credentials now. He was unscored upon in 7 of his 9 postseason games. Picked up a hold in Game 4 of the World Series.
Former closer of the Chicago White Sox, also the Arizona Diamondbacks. That was not very good, but pitching much better out of the Mets bullpen.
Pretty impressive for the Padres at Petco Park. .658 winning percentage against the Mets. There's one at time, as Reed taking a long time.
Well, many of those years, I think the Mets really didn't have the type of talent that they have this year. A lot of people picked this team to go right back to the World Series because of their pitching. Also, Cespedes signing back as well.
Cespedes now in center field. Myers will crank it foul.
Well, it's got to feel good for Addison Reed to come back as well. A former Aztec, San Diego State alum. He played for Tony Gwynn. Also Steven Strasburg. A lot of talent through that program, and I think Tony had a lot to do with that.
On the ground towards Walker at second base. And Myers is out number 2 of the 8th inning. Here comes Matt Kemp. Sacrifice fly in the first inning for Kemp. Fly out to center in the 4th, fly out to center in the 6th. So 3 times in this game. He has flied out to the center fielder at the time, Juan Lagares. It is now Cespedes out there now.
Look about how important that first run was for Matt Kemp. Looked like a meaningless sacrifice fly at the time, and that became big because this game has changed the way the Padres have pitched.
And O'Rodney getting ready to face White, Cespedes, and Duda. In on the hands and kind of flipped out towards right field. Walker going out, won't get it. It's in for a hit. Matt Kemp with a 2-out base hit. Just kind of flared it out there, and Walker could not run it down.
Yeah, there's certain times that you get the benefit of a good night, both defensively, obviously the sacrifice fly from Matt Kemp, and he fights this pitch off. It's a nice night in the big leagues, and this was a huge hit for Matt Kemp to end his night. Travis Jankowski is inserted to base running at first base for Matt.
We get a pinch run for him at first. And Alex Dickerson batting in the pitcher spot right now, which is the cleanup spot in the Padres order. So here's Dickerson coming off the bench to pinch hit. Jankowski started and stopped, and he will get back. He was taken off and then kind of in no man's land there, but Rivera didn't throw, so he was able to get back, but ended up being well off the bag.
Yeah, you see the break and not feeling comfortable about it. He shuts it down, and again he goes back to first base.
Over, and he crosses over to get back to the bag.
First base coach Tarek Brock giving instructions to Travis Jankowski.
I was talking to Tarek Brock earlier this year, and he was talking about studying all the moves of all the pitchers. He watches a ton of video, trying to help guys out, things to look for on those moves by the pitchers, all of them. It's a lot of work.
Huge benefit, and when you're breaking down film, there's a lot of tendencies that you'll look for. Tarek Brock knows how important that is to steal a run. Seeing Addison Reed quicken up his delivery with that slide step. If you're the hitter, that's what you want to look for. If he's slide stepping, you know he's trying to be quick with that base runner at first base. Look for that fastball.
And Jankowski back to the bag. Reed has been very concerned with him. Trying to get into scoring position here with 2 down in the 8th inning. On the ground left side and into left field. Jankowski's headed for third base. A bobble out there by Conforto. Jankowski was head first sliding into third. He thought it was going to be close. But Conforto out there and left bobbled the ball, and it's first and third now with 2 outs.
Now, good hitting by the Poway native. You see him taking it the other way and putting it past Cabrera. And then Jankowski making a nice turn. Dive by Cabrera goes into left field with 2 outs. Jankowski uses his speed to get into third base.
First and third, 2 down. Padres trying to add some insurance here. Elvin Upton Jr. batting. All this coming with 2 outs. Fouls it off to the right out of play. Dickerson with a starting to stop at first base that time.
Well, the Padres have forced the issue tonight on the base pass. Aggressive style, and it is shown. Not on the scoreboard, but that changes the way people will pitch to you. And a lot of fastball situations with men in scoring position.
On the ground, right side. Walker slides to his left and throws out Upton. Well, it is Fernando time at Petco Park as Rodney will make his way in. It's a 2-0 Padres lead. Rodney looking for save number 8 in the Padres uniform. It's the Mets and the Padres. Padres took game 1 of the series last night. Now Fernando Rodney trying to finish off the Mets here in game 2. 7 for 7 in save opportunities. Has not given up an earned run.
Well, you think about the opportunity here with a 2-0 lead. David Wright, Cespedes, and Lucas Duda. Tough sledding for this inning, and hopefully Fernando Rodney can benefit from that.
Mets have been held to 3 hits in this game. 2 of them for Asdrubal Cabrera, the other a double by Wilmer Flores.
The Mets batting order versus Fernando Rodney. Pretty good numbers from David Wright and Yoenis Cespedes.
Wright 0 for 3 in the game tonight. Has struck out looking. Flied out to center. Flied out to right. Wright gets out of the way. Fastball that got away. Look at the last 3 for Fernando Rodney. All converted saves. Two and 0. So from the fastball to the changeup, neither for a strike at the moment. 2 for 3 includes a home run for Wright. And it's 3-0. There's Cespedes waiting on deck. Took until the 9th inning for the Mets to make some noise last night. Ball 4, not close, and a leadoff walk. Tying run will come to the plate here for the Mets. Leadoff walk allowed by Rodney, who's in behind the mound in the midst of a meeting with himself.
When you think about what Fernando Rodney has to do, fastball command in his career has really been the problem. Not this year. He has been excellent.
Cespedes also has a home run off Rodney in his career, as did David Wright, who's at first base on the walk. Fouled off to the right.
Yeah, he's not waiting. He understands the importance of this. He's looking to drive the baseball out of the ballpark. That's a big swing.
He was struck out, walked, and flied out to the warning track tonight. Defensively moving from left field to center field as this game has gone on. Cespedes to left, down the line, Upton will move over and make the catch for the first out of the ninth inning. Had to reach for that and didn't get it all.
Yeah, it was a changeup. Perfect placement for Fernando Rodney. After the first pitch fastball with the big swing, he tries to look for that fastball again. The location is perfect. Our Fox Tracks by Nissan right off the edge. But the deception of the changeup really came into play here.
One out, runner at first base, and Lucas Duda, the batter. 0-for-3 tonight.
Whoa.
Could have been a strike. Duda's grounded out to second, flying out to center twice. Inside, almost hit him. 96 that time from Fernando Rodney. He's got it. Something's coming out onto the field in left field that Upton's going to run over and grab. Time call. Check swing. Called a ball. And Rodney falls behind 3-0. Fell behind David Wright 3-0 and before walking in.
You can't just groove one here. Lucas Duda has that home run power, 7 on the year. I think he's got the green light, 3-0.
In there for a strike, and he didn't get the fastball.
I think Fernando is looking the same thing as Cabrera sits on the on-deck circle. 3-0 changeup.
Ball 4, second walk of the inning allowed by Rodney, and now the tying run is on base for the Mets here in the ninth inning. Let's see this often. So 2 walks allowed by Rodney. Norris out there to talk to Fernando.
It's a good visit by Derek Norris, just getting him on the same page.
It's been a good night tonight for Asdrubal Cabrera. He has 2 of the 3 Mets hits in this game. After grounding out a short in the second, he singled to center in the 4th, singled to left in the 7th.
See the outfielders playing a little bit deeper. All the way around.
Kept him off balance that time. Started him with the changeup.
Again, you see the grip out of the hands. That's his specialty pitch. Has a good feel for that changeup.
Off balance again. Back to back with him. So hard. You're dealing with a guy who can throw 96 miles an hour and then can throw 82 miles an hour with the same arm action. Call. Cabrera backs out. Rodney waiting patiently. Right at second. Duda at first. One out in the ninth inning.
I think you got to go back to that changeup.
One more time. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Went to the fastball at 95 and blew it by him.
Well, after the 2 walks, you see how Fernando Rodney attacks Cabrera. He's had a really good night. First pitch changeup, back-to-back changeups. And then he sits inside with that fastball. The best fastball tonight on our Fox Tracks by Nissan. Excellent pitching by the Padres closer.
2 down, 2 on here for the Mets in the ninth inning. We're up to the pitcher's spot, so it's Alejandro Diaz who comes off the bench to pinch hit. A 194 average, a home run, a run batted in. Rodney in search of his 8th save in a Padres uniform. Strike one. Right at the bottom of the zone, and it's a changeup again. Trying to work his way around. 2 walks in the inning. Fastball at 97 that time, down and in.
Yeah, it looked like Piazza was sitting on that changeup. He saw the pitch by Cabrera, back-to-back changeups. And then coming in with the fastball. Very good location. This will make the hitter uncomfortable moving his feet.
Piazza grounds it foul, and it's 1-2. So here we go. 30,108 will stand as one at Petco Park. The 1-2 pitch. Rodney will back off. Took a gander out at right. Dancing around at second base. There is David Wright at second. Duda at first. The 1-2 pitch. Hey, struck him out. Got away from Norris. He's got to throw to first. He does, and the Padres win. Fernando Rodney, shoot that arrow. He picks up his 8th save, and San Diego shuts out the Mets. Final score again, the Padres 2, the Mets nothing. Padres Live is next. Mike Pomerantz, what do you got?
A lot of fun to watch, Don. We got a great post-game show for you. Hope you'll stick around. We're going to hear from